Hi guys, Aceface back with another video for you, and today I've got a very short recap and redux on the recent Challenge the Commissar battle report that I did with Commissar Warwick. So if you haven't already, please do hit the link below and watch the battle report, because otherwise this is going to give you some quite big spoilers. And also, if you haven't already, please do jump over and give Commissar Warwick a sub, and make sure you watch some of his content, because there's some awesome content there. Really good channel. It's growing rapidly because the content is so good. He really is making some great progress on that channel, and I hope that the guys here that watch me can hopefully go over and support him, because he's a great guy. So anyway, right, to the battle report. So I brought my towel. Warwick asked me not to take my Tyranids, so I had kind of pretty much a choice of either my demons or my towel. And as most people know, at the moment my towel is the army I'm concentrating on. I'm kind of finding my feet with them, I'm still learning them, so I decided to take my towel. I said to Warwick beforehand, what sort of list do you want me to take? How competitive, and really laid back. He just sort of said, look, take whatever you want, doesn't matter. I said, well, I'll definitely be taking a bound list. He said, yeah, well, I generally only play bound. So that was that. I said, look, how competitive, I do have a tendency to bring quite a lot of cheese. And he was like, look, whatever goes, goes. So that was that. So that was pretty much the only premise that we had. I didn't know what he was taking. He didn't really know what I was taking. So I put a video up showing about my list, so I won't go over my list in details, but what I am going to do briefly now is just talk over how the battle plan worked, how it came in the game, and sort of from the Tau side. What Commissar Warwick's going to do is he's going to do the same, but he's going to do it from a Imperial Guard Astra Militarum point of view. So I'll put a link down for that video once he's put it up, and you'll be able to jump on that and have a look at his point of view, which hopefully should be really interesting. Right, so how did my battle plan work? Well, on the whole, it worked really well. I was a little bit, I would say, not mixed match, because that's unfair and that's disrespectful, but my army, I would say, on paper was more powerful than his, and it had a little bit more diversity and ability to be able to cope with possibly more different things thrown at it. Whereas his Imperial Guard was probably a little bit more static and a little bit more old school and set to do one thing very well, whereas my Tau could probably adapt better. So that's sort of from an overall point of view. So how did it fare in the actual game? Well, I always liked the Alpha Strike, so I liked to have first turn. I didn't get first turn, and that worried me because he did have quite a lot of firepower. So what I had to do was deploy fairly defensively, using the cover to my advantage. We had night fighting, so I tried to kind of hug some cover. I expected to take some casualties first turn. I got very lucky. Didn't take anything at all. Only took like a wound off the Wyvara. So that really, because that's like your ultimate, because if you can kind of guarantee from a player point of view that you can take second turn but take not very many casualties, that's the perfect combination, because every player should want to take that, because that gives you the option of, well, not the option, that gives you the ability of that last turn objective grab. So a second turn without casualties is your perfect. So getting through the first turn and not taking any casualties straight away, I thought this is looking good. So then obviously everything kind of went to plan to a degree after that. So Wyvara went up, got his first blood, everything, game plan's working perfectly. But, and this is the big but, then Warwick really dug in. And this did surprise me, because this is the first time that my Tau have been pushed back to a degree. I've played probably about 8 times with my new Tau force in slightly different variations, because I'm still trying to find my optimised list for it, I suppose. But this is the first time that I've really been knocked back, and he did knock me back. So between sort of turn 3-4, really started to bring it to my Tau, and it really started to test the strength and depth that I have in that army, which was really interesting and really fun and enjoyable to see kind of that dynamics of how the force works when it's on the back foot. So I made some real tactical errors in the fact that my burst Riptide got way too cocky. He had 36-inch range, so I could outgun those guardsmen easily, and what was shooting back at me was not dangerous enough really to strip away his 2+ armour save, so I did not need to go that far forward. But sort of in my mind I wanted to start putting the pressure on, get closer, you know, a monstrous creature, let's get in his face, let's make sure I can get to those objectives and give my guy some support. But I didn't need to do that. I really didn't need to do that. So bringing him forward, that got him in range of the spell, which then gave all those guardsmen rending because of misfortune, and I lost that Riptide just through sheer mistakes. So that was really poor. That was poor. I also think that my eye on Riptide, I potentially didn't position him well enough to get optimal use of his sort of probably one of the most powerful guns I had. So that was kind of a bit of an error on my behalf. But other than that, I was very impressed with how the Imperial Guard challenged me and how I managed to kind of still sort of get through that initial middle stage and then start to put the heat back on again. Farsight's unit did amazing again. They are really underestimated, particularly with their combat abilities, because Farsight can actually fight. He really can fight. Yeah, not against a combat orientated unit, but actually he doesn't need to hold back if he drops in on generally a softer backfield shooty type units. He can actually dish out the pain. So that was a nice surprise, and something I've seen on a couple of occasions. So that's working really well. I must say, on the back of that, I did make a bit of a rules error, and it's just a real stupid mistake. With my army build, because I took Farsight as an ally, Farsight actually couldn't be my warlord in that, because he wasn't in the primary detachment. I actually had loads of points to spare because I'm not used to playing 2K, and I threw some into upgrades, where actually all I needed to buy was like a 25-30 point single crisis suit to give me a second troop choice, because you can take minimum in your second troop choice for the crisis suits in a Farsight Enclave army. So all I needed to do was that and not waste the points and other things, and I'll suddenly have it legally as my warlord again. So I'm pretty sure that Warwick wouldn't mind about that, you know, and actually it didn't factor in hugely, and potentially, you know, the buff commander could have still rolled on the same warlord trait anyway, so it really didn't make a difference. But I wanted to mention that. No one's mentioned it to me, but you know, it's only fair for me to mention it. But overall, really happy with how the Tau performed. I think if the Tau codex didn't change going forward too much, this will probably be my competitive list. I'm really happy with it. It does what I wanted my Tau army to do, which was to be fairly mobile, fairly suit heavy, and not, I don't want a gunline Tau army, it's not my style. So I think the backbone and the army, even in a relatively short time, I've kind of found what I like. Now, once I've sort of tested it a bit more and got really happy with it, then I'll start diversifying a little bit, playing more fluffy, softer armies. But actually, I want to find out what is my solid list, what's my go-to competition list, because very potential this will be something that I'll run in competitions going forward. I've not run my Tau in any competitions really. I ran it in a doubles tournament, but that's not quite the same. So it'll be very interesting. So it's a good sort of test for that. But anyway, as I said before, if you haven't already, please do check out Commissar Warwick's channel, awesome guy, and thank you very much for the game, and I look forward to seeing more of your Challenge the Commissar videos coming up, and hopefully we'll see some other people on the channel as well. So thanks so much guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.